right, good afternoon, class. I thought I'd start off by just doing a little fun drawings of elephants, and it's kind of like 3D shapes here of an X or buildings. All right, chapter 2.4 through 2.6. Adding and subtracting decimals is what we're going to start with. So 2.4, adding and subtracting decimals. So remember the trick here, and it's a very simple one. And the main thing you need to do when you add and subtract decimals is you line up the decimal. So you stack them up and you line up the decimal. Once you've lined up the decimal, then all you need to do is add as you would if they were whole numbers. So you just pretend like you have whole numbers now and you add them up. And then last, you just bring that decimal straight down into your answer. So the trick, line up the decimals and then add like normal. So here we are, we're going to line up the decimal there. You can see I marked it in red, and then I just added straight down. 6 plus 2 is 8, 3 plus 2 is 5, and 7 plus 2 is 9. Now when we subtract decimals, it's similar, but instead of adding like normal, you subtract. So it's the same rules. So you line up the decimals, and then you just subtract like normal. So 5.467 minus 2.736. Line it up, subtract like normal, and we get 2.731. All right, so let's do some practice problems. Remember to freeze this video so you can practice them on your own, and then we'll quickly go over them. So you hear your practice problems, pause the video now. And let's practice. So you line up the decimals. Don't forget that 0 for a placeholder. So you do 8 plus 0, 8, 7 plus 9 is 6. Carry it over, 12.68. And then on this other one here, similarly, you just line it up and borrow. All right, 2.5, multiplying decimals. When we multiply decimals, remember the trick here. We're going to stack them again. They don't have to line up the decimal, but you have to move the decimal out of the problem beforehand. So I had to move it one place. And then in the bottom there, I moved it one place, and then you add those two up. So in our answer, we're going to have to move it 2 decimal places in the answer. So we multiply like normal now, add them up, and here's our answer. And then remember, all you have to do is move the decimal 2 places back into the answer. So your answer is 39.75. Let's do another one. So we have 5.3 times 8. We move the decimal out 1 time. The bottom one, we don't have to move it out, it doesn't have a decimal. And then we just multiply like normal, 8 times 3, 8 times 5, and then 1 place in the answer, there we go, 42.4. So the whole trick, move the decimal out of place and then move it back in the answer. Just remember to put that decimal in your answer. So you multiply like normal, count the amount of decimal places, and put it in your answer. All right, let's do a couple practice problems. I'll quickly go over these, so make sure you pause and try them on your own. So we stack them, count the amount of times we have to move the decimal, 1 place, 0, so 1 place in the answer, multiply like normal, and then move it 1 place. So in this one, we had to move it 2 in the first part, and then 1 in the bottom, so 3 total places in the answer. Multiply like normal, move it over 3 places, and there you go. That's how you multiply decimals. Now, finally, we are to dividing decimals. So here we go again. Here's the example problem. We have 22.8 divided by 1.2. So first, we have to write the problem as a long division problem. So putting it in the divisor and the dividend. Then once we have it in a long division problem, the next part is to move it out of the divisor and move the same amount of the decimal, move it the same amount of places in the dividend. So this can be done in this problem by moving from 1.2 to 12 and then 22.8 over to 228. But we'll do that in a second. So yeah, move the decimal out of the divisor, move it the same amount of times in the dividend. And then 3, you just place the decimal right above the dividend where it is in the dividend in the answer. So you just pull it straight up. So 22.8 divided by 1.2, we move it over, check, 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 and then we pull it straight up. And then we just do long division like normal, and we get 19 is the answer. Let's do a couple practice problems. So we have 6.8 divided by 4, and we have the second problem here, we have 3.6 divided by 0.12. So pause the video here and try these on your own. All right, so write them as a long division, and then pull the decimal straight up. So in this one, we actually didn't have to move the decimal. The second one in here, we have to move it twice. Remember, you have to add in that placeholder. So the answer is actually 30, not 3. Make sure you keep that 0. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video review notes. Best.